Hey, fellow Americans. I have to tell you, it's a frustrated Jane Smith Fisher reporting from my kitchen table. And this will probably be the last time I'll be seeing you before the big election on Tuesday. Now, previously, I had spoken about Obamacare, and I had hoped that, it was a very good explanation that I had given. However, events that happened last week and discussion of it since have led me back to my table tonight. Last week, we were told that there were going to be huge premium increases for Obamacare. Actually, I should be putting my glasses on because I do, as always, have some notes. So about those huge increases. When I heard that there were increases in Obamacare, I was hoping that there would be a thoughtful discussion about this, about what works in the program, what doesn't work, how we can fix it. But no. Most people do seem to get their information from mainstream TV. And I watched an awful lot of it this week and didn't see much of a discussion. What I kept seeing is Obamacare is going up 116% in Arizona. Of course, what they didn't mention is that in some states it's going down. For example, in Indiana, those premiums are decreasing by 3%. Other states it's going up 5%, 7%. It's true. Arizona 116%, some states 40%, some states 60%. Overall, it's an average of 22%. But there's a much larger issue here, and that's who this actually affects. As it happens, if you're watching this video, chances are your employer is insuring you. 150 million of us, including me, are insured by our employers. And there's been a lot of confusion about this. Unbelievably, even Donald Trump was confused. Last week I saw a video of him, and you can find the video very easily online. He was in Florida at his Doral Club, and he said that his employees were all really upset and having problems with Obamacare. Then he left the stage, and the manager of the Doral had to explain that no, their employees are not having problems with Obamacare. They're actually insured by Mr. Trump. His organization, their employer. So if Mr. Trump was confused about this, and his employees are just fine because the only thing that would happen with them from Obamacare is just like me, their children might have stayed on their insurance until they're 26 as opposed to 19 or 21, so they have benefits from Obamacare. But if you're insured by your employer, this doesn't affect you. Likewise, if you're covered by Medicare, if you're covered by Medicaid, none of this affects you. As it turns out, there are only 10.5 million people, which is a big number, but anyway, even that's going to be reduced by the time I'm done. 10.5 million people get their insurance off the Obamacare marketplace. Out of that 10.5 million, 83% of those people receive subsidies. Many people get insurance for less than $100 a month. So, what's left? Maybe somewhere around 2 million people. And remember, out of that number, some of their premiums are going down. Some of them have reasonable premium increases. So, we're really talking about, when it comes down to it, not even 1% of the country. Maybe like 0.5% of the country this might involve. From what I've been seeing on TV, it sounds like it's all of us. So, just to put that in perspective, and again, I'm really concerned about those people. I am. Even if it's just 1 million people who are having high premium increases, or even if it's only 700,000, I'm really concerned about them. So what I think we should do is fix the problems. And one of the candidates thinks that as well. So we're going to go over very briefly what the candidates have in mind to fix this problem. Hillary Clinton recognizes, of course, that there is a problem. She's suggesting several things. I'll mention just a couple. One, that people over 55 can actually buy into Medicare. To increase subsidies for the people who are buying through Obamacare through the exchanges. And actually, the government hasn't even spent all the money that they expected to for these subsidies, so there is some money that would be left over. if they could add to the subsidies. Another thing is that she's talking about the public option, which means there would be a government-run insurance program that would compete with the private insurance programs. So those are just a few, and of course she's going to battle with pharmaceutical companies to get those prices down. If you go to Hillary Clinton's website, you can learn more. Now, Mr. Trump is suggesting, very forcefully suggesting, to repeal Obamacare as soon as he gets into office. Now, just to put things into perspective, right now there are less than 1 million people that are facing these huge premium increases. If Obamacare is repealed, 20 million people will lose their insurance. And then they'll have to go through private marketplaces like they did before. There will be no subsidies for them. If your children were insured until they're 26, say you have a child who's 23 and working freelance and doesn't get insurance from their employer, they will no longer be allowed to be on your plan. If you have a pre-existing condition, you will have a difficult time to get insurance again because Obamacare made it so that people with pre-existing conditions can get insurance. There are lots of benefits to Obamacare, and I don't have time to go through all of them, but if you look into it, and if you look into Obamacare, Google it, you'll find out what those benefits are. They will all be lost if the law is repealed. Now, Mr. Trump is suggesting that we replace the law. He keeps saying replace it with, there are two things that I keep hearing. One is that insurance companies would be allowed to sell insurance across state lines, and he thinks that that would create more competition. That is already possible in some places, and the insurance companies don't want to do it. There are reasons for that. Again, you can research it, but what we do know is that where insurance companies right now are allowed to sell across state lines, they're not doing it. I don't know if they would in the future, but right now they're not. And also, even if they did, that might bring down the prices. The competition probably would, but we don't know if it would bring it down as much as having the subsidies, and it wouldn't bring it down to zero, because there are a lot of people that have been, since Medicaid was extended in many states through Obamacare, those people can't afford insurance at all. Okay, the other thing that he's proposing is health savings accounts. Again, health savings accounts are available right now. I have one. But a health savings account is a person putting their own money into an account, and then they can spend that money for medical expenses. If you don't have money to put into the account, then a health savings account won't help you. A health savings account, again, is not insurance. Now, I would hope that Mr. Trump, before the election, comes up with other ideas. I have looked. I haven't found any other ideas. So I welcome you to research and find out if he does have them. And then consider this for yourself. If we lose Obamacare, a lot of people will be losing out on a lot. I say that we tweak it and fix it. Every major program that's rolled out from the government has problems. The idea is that you move forward with them, fix them, and enjoy the benefits. Okay, everybody. All I'm asking is that you please vote. It's not just a privilege, although it is an incredible privilege we have. From where I'm sitting, it's a responsibility that we have as well. Okay, I'll see you next time.